Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off with our current Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford, at about 6.5 weeks out from this year's Mr. Olympia. And I'm pretty sure all of the guys are working hard going into this year's show, but at 6.5 weeks out, Derek is really pushing. I'm not sure if you guys have been tuned into his YouTube channel, but you definitely should. Derek said he honestly loves to embrace the suck, the suffer, and every year he digs a little bit deeper. Going into this year's Olympia, I'm expecting a bigger and better Derek Lunsford. With as hard as he's pushing at 6.5 weeks out, I also think he may somehow come in more conditioned to this year's show. And I know everyone wants to see the detail in the upper body from Derek Lunsford. I'm not sure if we're going to see that this year, but I want to ask you guys, if Derek does have the same level of detail he has in this video, is he lights out? Now next up, we have a small training update from Samson Dauda, a guy I'm really looking forward to seeing on stage this year. And this year's Olympia is going to be very exciting, and we say this every single year. I say this because I don't even think Derek is guaranteed to win the Mr. Olympia. I don't think Hottie's guaranteed to be second, Samson guaranteed to be third, Andrew fourth, Nick Walker fifth, whatever. Pretty much all 5 of those guys can somewhat switch places. And it's more likely that Hottie and Derek will be 1 and 2, and Samson, Andrew, and Nick can almost flip-flop. But then again, you never know. Andrew has improved, Samson has improved, Nick is getting a lot of criticism, but he has also improved. Samson is massive this year, conditioning looks better than it ever has at this far out from a show. We could be poised to see the best version of a lot of these guys at this year's show. And in the next update of the day, we have a recent physique update from Hunter Labrada, and this just reinforces everything I just said. This year's Olympia is going to be crazy, and a lot of guys are going to be at their all-time best. Of course, Hunter will be competing in next week's Italy Pro. We're not sure if Nexzilla is actually going to be in the show, but regardless, I'm pretty sure that Hunter's going to walk away with the win. Almost everyone is talking about how is this guy going to do with the Mr. Olympia. Is Hunter back in the top 5, possibly top 4? Can he potentially crack third? And all of those things are fair to say. Hunter looks great. And I don't want to put Hunter down, but I really hope he nails it on show day. He isn't sweating on stage, because fading on stage has been an issue for Hunter Labrada over the past couple years. And to me, it was a big issue at last year's Texas Pro. But fingers crossed that Hunter comes into Italy bone dry and also brings a great package to this year's Mr. Olympia. But let me know in the comment section below, what are thoughts and expectations for Hunter Labrada? And next up, we have a recent physique update from Jewett ahead of this year's Mr. Olympia. And I said it before, but 100% now, John is definitely my dark horse going into this year's Mr. Olympia. I'm not saying exactly where he's going to place, but this guy is extremely dangerous. Jewett is bringing 212 level of conditioning to men's open bodybuilding, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be at least a little bit bigger than he was at the Vancouver Pro. It really just depends on how John stacks up size-wise next to these guys, because I'm pretty sure he has the condition, and again, he should be at least a little bit heavier than Vancouver. Now next up, and could also definitely be a dark horse for this year's O, is Akim Williams, who is having a great year working with Chris Aceto. Akim has all the muscle in the world. He has been as high as top 6 at the Mr. Olympia. I think projecting him to be top 6 this year would be a little bit of a stretch. But to me personally, Akim only has 2 bad poses, which are the back poses, and you can argue that he has a solid rear lat spread. He's very competitive in 6 of the bodybuilding poses, so who knows? And in the next update of the day, we have a recent update from the Butcher, Brett Wilkin, ahead of the Legion Sports Fest. And it's always great when a guy's posting a lot of updates, because that means he really likes his look. And Brett is honestly another guy that is looking like he is potentially going to bring his best to the stage this year. I don't want to hype these physique updates too much. Let's wait a couple of more weeks and we will see Brett at the Legion Sports Fest. I also think him training with Martin Fitzwater is very beneficial for both of them. Now let's switch over to a recent update of Hassan Mostafa, and looking at this most muscular shot on the right, this guy is absolutely massive right now. But when it comes to Hassan, he has all the muscle in the world, similar to Akim, but he has to bring the conditioning. Chad Nichols, AJ Sims are the only 2 guys I saw bring Hassan in absolutely peeled. I don't think Hassan needs to necessarily fire his coach, but they definitely need to come up with a new strategy. He can't be wasting these genetics. Now let's switch over to 212. We have a recent update from our current reigning champion, Keone Pearson. This was taken at about 7 weeks out. And man, a lot of guys are looking very, very good this year. Keone's main focus this entire year has just been coming in and retaining the title. A lot of people have been asking him about going to Open, but Keone is locked in, and in just 6.5 weeks, he may have another title. Now switching over to Classic Physique, we have a recent update from Classy FM, Fabian Mayr, a guy we have not seen in a very long time. Fabian became a father and disappeared from the sport for a little while. But in the caption of this post, Fabian said he is back to training. Now he has not announced the show, but I still thought this was worth mentioning because Fabian was a top Classic Physique guy when he was at the Mr. Olympia. But I'm pretty sure he will be back there. If I'm not mistaken, he has placed as high as 8th, maybe even 7th. I think 7th. Now let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. Pretty easy archive to guess. Let's see if you guys can tell me what show this was and what year. And actually, I was getting my archives from a specific website, but my website shut down, so it's actually a little bit harder to get these now. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, and if you have not done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. My apologies for the late news updates. As I told you guys, I'm working a new job, taking me a little bit of time to adjust, but we'll be fine. Thank you guys for all of the support. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness. That is it. I'm out.